Good afternoon, students. This is Miss Ostina, and let us continue with the next part of the topic, that is PV diagrams. In the last lectures, we covered until thermodynamic equilibriums. Three types of equilibrium we saw: thermal, chemical, and mechanical equilibriums. Now we'll continue with the next topic, that is the PV diagrams. Now what is P and V here? Firstly, we need to understand P means pressure, whereas V means the volume. When you plot a graph of P, that is pressure, versus V for the volume, we get a graph of PV, and those graphs here in thermodynamics we call them as PV diagrams. Now let us observe the first diagram here. In the first case, when you take path from 1 to 2, pressure remains constant, whereas there is a change on the x-axis, that is the volume changes from V1 to V2. You must see that there is a shaded part that will give you the work done. Here volume is constant and pressure is constant, whereas there is a change in the volume. Here we can say that positive work is being done. If the volume is constant in any of the process, then the work done is zero because there is no displacement. Okay, let us go with the next one. Here there is change in the pressure as well as change in the volume. In an earlier case, we saw that the pressure was constant, whereas here there is both change in the pressure as well as change in the volume. The pressure changes from P1 and goes to P2, whereas the volume changes from V1 to V2. Here positive work done is clear. Let's go to the next part of the diagram. Here if you see, the pressure is decreasing as well as volume is also decreasing. Pressure goes from P1 to P2. Here the process starts from 1 and goes to 2, but it is in the reverse direction, and hence we say that negative work is done over here. The shaded part is given as work done. Because the volume is decreasing, there we can say that the work done is taken as negative. In the earlier case, if you see, here the volume was increasing and therefore work done was taken as positive. Let's go to the next part. Classification of thermodynamic processes. Now in this we need to understand what are the variables, how they are changing, and how according to change in the variables the process is defined. A thermodynamic state can be described as change in pressure, temperature and volume. These three variables are called as state variables: pressure, temperature and volume. If any two are constant and one is changing, accordingly the process will change. What is done is, two or more variables can be changed and one is kept constant. According to which are varying and which state variables are constant, there are different types of processes. Let us see which type of processes are there. There are few processes here: reversible process, irreversible process, isothermal process, isochoric process, adiabatic process, cyclic process and free expansion. Today's lecture we'll be seeing starting few of them. irreversible process. In daily life, we see certain processes like melting of ice, freezing of water, boiling of water, condensation of steam. All this can be examples for a reversed process. There is a process and you make the thing reverse, it will be converted into the reversible process. What happens here is the initial state and the final state are the same. That is, whatever was the initial point or the initial state of the system can be got back again. Such a process is called as a reversible process. In a reversible process, the path can be traced back as it is. Here, the forward and the reverse direction are the same. The path, if you see, from point A to the last point, let's say point B, and from B to A is the same. Pressure changes, volume changes, but initial and the final state remains the same, and hence such processes are called as reversible process. Let's go to the next process. Irreversible process. If you see the PV diagram here, the path which was initial A to B is different than the final path, that is B to A. In the earlier example we saw path for A to B and B to A is same, but in this case it is different, and such a processes where the path of the process cannot be retraced are called as irreversible processes. Here there is no going back to the final state. The initial state of the system cannot be restored here, and therefore we say that the process is irreversible. There is some permanent loss in energy due to, let's say, friction or other energy losses are occurring in the process, and hence such processes are called irreversible process. Let's go further. What can be the cause of irreversible processes? Why such processes occur? Now, here if you take example of, say, a ball is going down the ground. After some time it will stop. That is because of the friction of the ball's surface with the ground. There is a frictional force of opposition, and hence the ball will not keep on rolling. It will stop at some point of time. Same way, there are forces like viscosity and other dissipative forces, let's say air resistance. All these forces will cause the irreversibility. Such forces can be minimized, but they cannot be fully eliminated from the system. Let's go further. Some graphs. We need to understand these PV diagrams, and only on basis of that the next concepts will be clear. Let's start with the first one, that is 4.12a. Here if you see, the process changes the path from various directions. A to B, there is a different path. A to C to B, that's the second path. A to D to B is the third path. In this way, a system can change from initial point to the final point in different paths. Accordingly, the work done will also change. If it takes the first path, the work done will be different. If it takes the second and the third, the work done will be the different. But if you see, in each of the path, the pressure, that is initial pressure Pi and the final pressure Pf is same, whereas the same happens with the volume Vi and Vf. Even if the path are different, the process are different, there is still the pressure and the volume that remains the same. We'll see the next one. (4.12b). Here both the pressure and the volume are changing. The first part, if you see the shaded part, that is the work done. Here pressure changes and volume also changes. Initially pressure is Pi and volume is Vi, and finally we reach to pressure as Pf and volume becomes Pv. Here both the variables are changing, that is pressure and volume. Let's see the next graphs. Here 4.12c. Initially if you see, pressure that is Pi is kept constant from path A to C, whereas volume is changing from Vi to Vf. When you trace the path C to B, pressure keeps on changing whereas the volume remains Vf. That is, first pressure remains constant and volume is changing, whereas second time pressure is changing whereas the volume remains constant. Let's see the third case, 4.12d. Here initially pressure drops, that is Pi to Pf, but the volume remains constant, that is Vi. And secondly, the pressure remains constant Pf and the volume increases from Vi to Vf. In three of these cases, some variables remain constant whereas some are changing and other ways round. Let us see the final conclusion, what we derived from these three graphs. In both three of these cases, work done during the process changes, but the state of the system, that is the initial state and the final state, remains the same. If you see, Pi and Pf remains the same in all the three cases. Also, work done by the system here depends not only on the final and the initial states, but on what kind of path is followed by the system. In the first case, it is an exponentially decreasing graph, whereas here pressure constant, volume is increasing. In the third case, pressure is changing, volume is constant. So what kind of path is taken, on that the work done will also change. Let us move to the next slide. Okay, here are some assumptions we need to consider when we deal with ideal gas. Now, there is nothing called as ideal gas, but for the process of the theoretical study, we need to consider an ideal gas so we can apply the equations to it. So, some assumptions here. We need to consider that a thermodynamic process are reversible. Is a system. What is a system here? A system is ideal gas which is enclosed in the cylinder. It is having a frictionless and massless piston, and the ideal gas equation can be applied to the system. Only if we consider this assumption, we can apply the laws in our theoretical study. Isothermal process. Here, pressure and volume changes take place at a constant temperature. So the variable that is kept constant is temperature, whereas the variables of pressure and volume are changing. When there is a change in the process, change in pressure and volume, such a thermodynamic process is called isothermal process, or the change is called as isothermal change. We can take an example of melting of ice. Let's say a glass of ice is kept on a table. At room temperature, it will melt. So the constant temperature here is the room temperature. We can apply the law is PV is equal to constant. Let's move to the derivation part. This is how the derivation looks in the textbook. we will follow a simple derivation Okay, this is a simple derivation I have solved for you people. Thermodynamics of isothermal process. Here we can say that temperature of the system remains constant and hence we can apply Boyle's law. PV is equal to constant. Let us take it as equation number 1. Then we can say that Pi is the initial pressure, Pf is the final pressure. Then Vi is the initial volume, whereas Vf is the final volume. So we can say from the equation 1, Pi is equal to Vi is equal to Pf into Vf, which is constant, because we stated that Pv is equal to constant. Now we can say that in earlier derivation we saw work done is equal to Pdv. But this work done is infinitesimal small work done for small expansion. Then we can apply integration sign for a large calculations. So volume changes from Vi to Vf and hence we can apply this integration sign and solve the work done. Here for an ideal gas, PV is equal to nRT. If you solve it further and take V in the denominator, P is equal to nRT. Substituting that in the equation 4, we get as nRT by V dV and integrating it. Solving the integration part, we get nRT dV by V. Then constant terms are always out of the integration. When you solve this integration part, we get Vf upon Vi. In an isothermal process, internal energy remains constant because it depends on the temperature, and since the temperature is constant, the internal energy also will be constant. So we can say that Q is equal to W. But we know the value for W, what is that? We calculated here. So when I substitute that in this equation, I get Q is equal to nRT log of Vf by Vi. Hence we can say that heat transfer to the system completely converted in work done. What is the work here? The work of expansion of the gas. So heat absorbed is totally devoted to the volume of the gas expansion. Here the gas expands and hence the work done can be considered as positive. This is the PV diagram for the isothermal expansion. It is called as isotherm. Let us stop here for today.